I think the car itself's eye-catching for a car that's 42 years old. It still has a good stance about it, and people do sort of comment when they see it out on the street. The shape has held up well. Behind me here is my Mercedes 450 SL. It's a 1979 model V8 convertible. And it's nudging 42 years old this year, so it's got a fair bit of age to it. It still drives really well. I'm pretty fortunate to be able to own it. I bought the car back in 2009. We were on a family holiday up to Yeppoon, and it came up that the car was just located around the corner from where we were. We took a quick drive just to go and have a look. Ended up buying the car. Was pretty happy with what we saw. Again, walked into the gentleman's garage, and had parquetry flooring everywhere, and it was immaculately kept. So we snapped it up straight away. The girls flew home. I drove the car back from Yeppoon back to the Gold Coast, which is about 800 odd kilometres. Didn't miss a beat, so good find. I got into cars really early as a kid. We come from central Queensland, and my dad, as a side job, would go out on people's properties and do some work, and he'd let us drive the cars around when we were sort of 10, 11 years old. So we got to drive at a young age, and then the Blackwater was the place that we grew up in. The only way to get out of Blackwater was to have a car and drive yourself out of there. So most of the guys that I went to school with had their own cars and would pull them apart all the time. They didn't really need pulling apart, but you'd pull it apart, put it back together, and give it a wash, and then drive it around for the weekend, and then you can't wait for the next weekend to come and do the same thing again. So I've been a car person for a long time. Lucky enough to get some collectors now with the Mercedes and a Ferrari as well. Servicing wise for the car, when I got it back from Yeppoon, I got some people that do some work here on our other Mercedes cars. Went right through it, changed timing chains, gave it a good do-over, and since then I've been doing the servicing myself. Recently changed the subframe bushings on it, some tie rods, and a steering damper. Pretty lucky for parts for these cars because you can pick them up at normal auto stores for filters, and then if it's anything special, we've found some places in Arizona in the US that you can buy parts from, all brand new. Sometimes the postage is actually worth more than the parts that you're buying. The car doesn't get abused, it's treated with a little bit of respect, being 42 years old as well. In terms of mods to the car, it came, as you see it here behind me. The wheels are an extra. I have a feeling that the side mirrors are an extra as well, and I've had to change the exhaust on it. Funny story with the exhaust, I took it up to an exhaust guy at the Gold Coast here, and it's got a straight through system on it, and I got just the rear muffler put on, and driving home, albeit fun, it was too loud and I could see some points disappearing, so I took it back the next day and just told Jody that the guy hadn't finished the job off I got 2 more extra hot dogs put on just to tame it a little bit. But it's good. It's a nice V8. It's got a good whine once it gets up to 4,000 and 5,000 RPM as well. It still drives nicely. It is a 4-seater. Great if you've got little kids, because my 2 girls would fit in the back seat comfortably. Now that they're either left school or in the last year of high school, it's a bit different, a bit more difficult to try and fit them in the back. And over the past couple of years along the way, we've done the graduation runs as well, so it's very tricky fitting 2 teenagers in the car and dropping them off for their graduation nights, but we still manage. We like to help people out where we can with that. I think the car itself's eye-catching for a car that's 42 years old. It still has a good stance about it, and people do sort of comment when they see it out on the street. The shape has held up well, and in terms of a car that was built back in 1979, it's got cruise control, air conditioning, power steering, fuel injection, and it also comes with a rag top and a hard top as well. And the hard top changes the shape of the car and sort of looks like a saloon. So in summertime, it's a little bit too hot to drive around with the roof off in summer. So typically we have the roof on in summer and take it off again in winter and drive around that way. But it's a lovely car to drive and it sounds awesome. So again, very lucky to have the car.